Okay, so first things first, I do have a shirt on. I'm just short. Ugh, can y'all see? Ugh. Hey y'all, it's Classic Courtney, and in this video I will be talking about how to get into Howard University. First things first, I want to put out a disclaimer, okay? This is not like some magic video. I do not have all the answers. I am not HU admissions, okay? So if you watch this video and you're like, I followed everything you said, Courtney, and I didn't get in, listen, this is just some advice that I think will help you get into Howard, because this is what I did, and clearly I'm here. And I also have other people like my roommates and other people on YouTube who also make these videos. I mean, it's pretty much a common trend, so I'm not saying it's like accurate, but I mean, if you really want to get in, you should watch this video. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is academics. Two things I feel like they look at the most. Well, actually three things: your GPA, your class rank, and your SAT or ACT scores. I recommend that you have a 3.0 or higher. This is not to say that if you have less than 3.0 you won't get in, because there's people probably here that have less than 3.0, but I'm just saying if you have a 3.0 or greater, then it will maximize your chances of getting in. This is because literally not everyone, but a vast majority of people here had high GPAs, they were the valedictorian, or they had 4.0. It's a very competitive school. So if you want to compete, then I think you need to be up there, if not higher. Next is class rank. I know the class rank is required when you apply, so I would assume that that comes into consideration when deciding if you're going to make it in or not. If you're in the top 10%, that's a pretty good place to be, because I mean, that depends on how big your class is. So if your class is 800 people, you could be the 80th person and still be in the top 10%. I hope that was right, because if not, then I'm gonna look real dumb. Next is test scores. Now, I'm not sure what the exact requirement for Howard is as a whole, but I had a 1270 on my SAT. I did not take the ACT, so I can't really tell you guys about that. And I believe the 1270 is a little higher than what the minimum requirement is, or the average number that they take. That makes sense. They're like 200 points higher. Like I said, you're competing with the best of the best, so make sure that you put yourself in a position that you can actually compete. Next is extracurriculars. I believe, and from what I've heard from other people, is they look for people who are not only academically sound, but also involved in the school. So they want people who are active in the high school community in hopes that you'll be active in the Howard community. So I recommend that you have at least 3 clubs. If you do a sport, that counts, definitely. I did cheerleading for 4 years, and then I did my theater. So I did that for 2 years, and then I was a past tutor my senior year. I was just peer tutoring after school, like once a week. It's best if it's more than 1 year, because that shows commitment and dedication. You did all these clubs, you only did it for 1 year, kind of shows that you, not a quitter per se, but that, you know, you can just move on to different things fast, you know, which is not really what they're looking for, I say, you know, guessingly. And my next tip is to have a leadership position in at least one of those clubs. The more clubs you're involved in, the more leadership positions you have, then I think that's like great. I was the vice president of my theater troupe, so that's my leadership position that I had right there. The next step is the essay. When you apply, they will give you this part where you need to have an essay, and they will give you a question, and I believe that this essay should just be bomb. Like, it should blow them out the water. One question that you will get so much, no matter what you do, is why Howard? Why do you want to come to Howard? Why are you here? That's essentially what they're asking in those essays. The questions vary, but essentially they all mean why Howard. What I suggest when writing that is to be yourself and let your personality come through in your writing. Make sure you answer the question, because I remember, I vaguely remember, because this was about a year ago already, but okay, Tony, it's okay. Where was I? Oh, because the questions are going to have multiple parts to it, multiple questions within the one essay question. So just make sure you answer all of it, because it's like they're reading and they're like, okay, so all this good stuff, but you didn't answer what we asked you. And lastly, have a goal in mind. Even if you are undecided, the questions come from what major you select while you're applying. So when I applied as a film major, my question was related to film. And basically, what was my end goal, my end career goal when it came to getting my film degree? They don't want to waste their time, their housing, because it's limited, especially this year. If you are just there to be there and you don't have a clear goal, not even if you don't exactly know what you want to do, like I said, you're undecided, you don't know what career path you just have a general life goal, like I want to change this, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but this is what I want to do, and hopefully coming to Howard will help me figure out exactly the path I need to take to do that. And last but not least, the most important thing I feel is to do your research, because as I was researching for this video to make sure I gave you guys accurate information, one thing I noticed was that each school, like School of Communications, School of Business, College of Arts and Sciences, they all have their specific requirements. So I looked at SOC, School of Communications, and I remember it said it had a 3.0 requirement. Also, like the average test SAT score was a 1057. If you already know what you want to major in, then go ahead and look online at that specific school and look at their requirements. All right, guys, that's it for the video of how to get into HU. And like I said before, all right, if you watch this video and you do everything that I say and you don't get in, don't get mad at me, okay? That's Howard admission. We all know Howard's a little, you know what I mean? That ain't my fault. That's all I got to say. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful at all. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about applying to Howard or Howard in general, or just college in general, because I will be open to answering all of those. I will probably be doing a Q&A at the end of this semester, but you can only see that if you subscribe, because if you don't subscribe and they leave your question down there and then I answer your question, you're not gonna know, because you're gonna forget. So click it right there, down. Click it right there. And as always, stay classically you. Bye, guys. Mwah.